Hey yo, it's your boy Zoe, and I'm back again with another video. I'm over here about to break down my tier list. About to have some early predictions going. I also have the communities list and top 10s, and at the end of the video, I will have a consensus top 10 with all the lists that I got together. It's about like 20 lists that I got from the community, but I'm only going to showcase around like 10 or so. But if you hear they want to have more NBA to run content, please leave, like, comment, subscribe, and hey, let's get it in, y'all. I have 3 metrics on how I am breaking down my tier list, and number 1 is top skills, number 2 is the height and weight, and number 3 is accessibility, meaning how easy, how well a player, anybody can use that player. So, about to go ahead and break it down. I have 5 tiers. Started off with the iced out tier, and last place is Trae Young. I have him last place because he's literally gonna be like the smallest player, probably the smallest player on this game. It's a lot of other players that does what he does better. He's not gonna play defense well because he's small. I just think that for a niche of people that want to use them, they're going to enjoy using them. But I just think, for my opinion, in a competitive standpoint, I think we would not see Trae Young like that. And secondly, I got Paulo Banchero. Same thing with Trae Young. He has basically there's other people that have the same skills as he does, but they just do it way better. Not to say you can't dominate with him. I feel like it is a place where you could use Paulo, but again, I just think there's other players which I'm going to break down, like Giannis and stuff like that. That just does stuff better. Next up, I got is Josh Giddey, and again, it's just accessibility. It's just other players that's gonna do what he does better. I would say the one up is you have with him is that he can get boards over other guards and possibly over other forwards in the paint. But other than that, I feel like he's not going to be the people's favorite. So, and lastly, I have is Jalen Brunson, and this basically all this entire list is just their height and weight and their accessibility. Meaning, like, if Jalen Brunson, I mean, there's other people that's going to do what he does way better and play defense as well. But it's just the fact that he's small. He's a small guard. Again, there's going to be a niche of people that are going to be able to use him and dominate. But again, I feel like in a competitive standpoint, you really have to be that guy to use him. So any play style, what I'm saying is any play style is usable, by the way. Any player is usable to be a top guy. I'm just going based off of my opinion, by the way. I don't want to say, hey, why my favorite player is at the bottom or why my favorite player is not right here. It's just my opinion before the game comes out. Things is going to change, so just want to state that out there. But next up, I have for the cold streak, I have last on that list is Ja Morant. Again, I feel just the entire road cold streak, I'm basically gonna be like, main thing is accessibility. It's gonna be a niche. Again, it's gonna be a niche of people that are going to be using Ja Morant. He's gonna be quick, he's fast, he's gonna be dunking. But I think in a competitive standpoint, especially when it's gonna be games where they're gonna require you to shoot the ball, or maybe court conditions could be like, hey, the threes are worth 4 or something like that, and you don't have a good shooter, maybe Ja Morant is your best shooter. So I just think that's probably why I put him down here when you need some shooting around in the game when it comes down to it. I have Cooper Flag next. He's here just for this, again, for accessibility. I think people are not going to utilize him like he's supposed to. Again, this is my opinion. I just think people are going to use him like a basic lockdown. and that's it. I don't think they're not gonna see the potential in him the way other people that probably going to main him and use him for online competitive modes as like a two-way playmaker. But that's just my opinion. Just accessibility. I think in the right hands, for any of these players, they can dominate. So it could be you. So next up I have is Tyrese Halliburton, and it's just other players that does what he does better. It just, I'll grant it, he's probably better like a John Morant because he can shoot and everything, I would say. But just setting up teammates and everything, I think it's gonna be I think he's probably one of the best passers, probably one of the funnest passers in this game. So I would say definitely people are gonna use him for like playmaking wise. Next up I have is Jokic, and Jokic, I think a lot of people, of course, are gonna use him as a center. I do want to see a lot of other people use him as their point guard. I think just his accessibility, just people just trying to like, okay, how am I going to run with Jokic? Okay, he may be just a rebounding defensive guy. I mean, he stay back, or he may be your offensive guy and try to set up other people. So yeah, I just feel like, just based off even just other games and stuff like that, and based off how he plays, it's going to be a little difficult for like most people to get into. So next up I have is Scotty Barnes, and Scotty Barnes out there, he's probably one of the best lockdowns on this game, far as especially like guarding like the forwards and probably some centers. But again, I just think that some people are not going to utilize him like they're supposed to. They're probably not going like, hey, like he can score, he can do some playmaking. So I just think that just in the right hands, somebody can use Scotty Barnes and can just dominate on NBA to run, get into the zone very quickly. Far as I have the neutral tier here, and the last person I have on that list is Amen Thompson, and the reason why I have him here is most people are going to use him, and I think for this row right here, it's just a combination of all three of my metrics. Most people are going to use him far as just being a lockdown. If you just want, hey, I need a lock, I need to get a lock on my team, there you go. That's him. He is the guy. I feel like he is defensively, he's got it all. The steals, the speed, the lockdown. I also think just the skills that you probably don't see, like he in real life, he does jump high, so I think he will have the hops, he will have the blocks, so he will be probably the best lockdown in this game, in my opinion. So James Harden is next. I just think that he's probably gonna be one of the best dribblers in this game. Hopefully we can get Kyrie or something like that later on, but I just think he's probably gonna be one of the best dribblers in this game, one of the best beginner guards in this game. People that probably want to understand, okay, what are the dribble moves? How am I gonna do stuff? Like the off the heat and stuff like that, like we saw in the trailer with him. I think people are going to use him as that guy of like, yeah, I want to mix up some stuff. I want to go ahead and break some ankles. So next up I have is Joel Embiid. Have him here because I think a lot of people are going to dominate him as an overall center. I just think just seeing a glimpse of him at the trailer, the MVP trailer, just gives an idea of like, yeah, this guy's going to be a bully. He goes down the paint, it's going to be his paint. So, and he can also play defense. So he's just good all around, and I just think most people just likes that. They just want an all-around player, somebody that can just do it on both sides of the floor, and they don't have to worry about sacrificing on one end of the floor. So this next up I have his teammate Tyrese Maxey, and I think he's probably the fastest player in the game. He has speed, he has downtown, and he has steals, and I just think that a combination of all three of those, like, that's what makes a basketball game strive, in my opinion. Just the defense, the shooting, and just how fast are you. So I think everything's going to translate over here. The next person I have is Cade Cunningham, and I would say Cade Cunningham is probably the best like overall guard, somebody that literally can just do it all, on both sides of the floor. But mainly he can just set up your teammates. I think we're gonna get a lot of flashy passes with him, a lot of signature moves with him. So I definitely say keep a lookout. Next up I have is Jason Tatum, and again with like Cade Cunningham, he's an overall player, probably one of the best overall players, one of the best overall wings on this game, in my opinion. He can get boards, he can lock down, and he can shoot. So it's just basically he can kind of do it all, and probably can handle the rock and everything. So I just think that he can just dominate. Anybody can pick him up, and if you just if you just want to have that overall forward, that'd probably be your guy, in my opinion. Next up I have is Devin Booker. I got him right here as the third because I think he will be one of the best scoring guards, one of the best shooting guards, funny enough, in the game. I just think that just the combination of probably even the best shot creator too, just the combination of him having handles and he can shoot mid-range and the three-pointer. Just people are probably gonna go for him just to understand the shooting and like what shots you probably need to take and what shots not to take, because he can just literally shoot from anywhere and he can cross up anybody to get to his spot. So I just think he's probably an important player here, and people can dominate with him. That's why he's in the neutral. Next up I have is Bam Adebayo, and no, I didn't have him up here because he dropped 83 this year. No, but got him up here because I believe he's the fastest center here, the fastest big here. I think he's going to dominate other centers or other people that's going to be in that position, and he can still play defense, still lock down like guards, like a few guards. I wouldn't say not your quickest, but he can probably guard some. But I just say he's going to be an important piece for a lot of small lineups that people are going to be using, whether you use him like as your 2, like a forward, or as your 3 or your center. So he theoretically you can put anybody in any position. So last up on neutral I have is Jaylen Brown, and I would think he's probably one of the best overall slashers in this game. Probably I would say the best two-way slasher in this game. He has the hops, he has the dunks, he has the mid-range. We know he can play defense. I just think that people, especially this type of game, like NBA, like street and NBA Jam, and people love dunks. People love to go to the rack. I just think people are going to pick him. Me personally, I know I will. He's going to be one of the main people I'm going to pick, but not my main person. So that's why I have him here. Next up I have is the hot streak. Lastly on this list I have is Donovan Mitchell. I consider him as the best scoring small guard here. So if you want somebody at your 1, I guess you want to put him at your 2. You can. But I consider him just like you want to put him as your 1, and if you want somebody that can do it all offensively, dunk, shoot, handle the rock, that's him. I think that is your guy, and he has speed, and he has some passing. You just don't have the defensive end. Next up I have is SGA, and I have him as like the best two-way guard here. Just versus like someone like a Cade Cunningham. I just think Cade Cunningham, he does something overall, but versus versus SGA, like he legitimately has steals, dimes, and mid range. So he's literally going to be a two-way type of player. Kind of going to be everywhere. So I just think I consider him way better than Cade Cunningham or players that is an overall guard like that. Next up I have is Zion, and the reason why I have him here is because of his 3 top skills, which is power, hops, and dunk. And just all 3 of those combination, and just even saw in the dunk trailer that we have, not a lot of people is going to stop him from the rim. So I'm just keeping that in mind. And once people realize when you throwing alley-oops and he's knocking people out the air and you can't stop it unless you really have a really good defender or you really time a block, then yeah, I think he is going to dominate in this game. He probably needs to be in the takeover thing, in my opinion. But nah, I just think that some people, like most people, will try to use him, but not everybody's going to master him as a player. So we have Luka Doncic next. I think he's one of the best tall guards here, one of the best beginner guards, I would say, here. I think a lot of people are going to use him for that reason, just to learn the dribble moves. One of the best passers here too. I just think that hey, you just want somebody to get a bucket that can pass, that can play make. Like basically, have your playmaking shot creator type of build, type of player. That's him. I think more people are gonna use, especially he has the height and he can guard other people. So next up I have is Ant Edwards, and this is who I'm personally going to be maining. I have him here because I think he's probably the best offensive slasher here. I think that he does it all even better than Jaylen Brown on the offensive end. I think that he is going to be a terror on the offensive end as far as with handling the rock. He has the speed. He has the dunks for sure. He can shoot the 3. So I just think that all of those skills and just his accessibility, a lot of people are going to use him. And again, like I said, people love dunks. People love to shoot. I think he's a perfect guy for a lot of people to use. And lastly, in this list right here, I have is AD, Anthony Davis, and I have him here as probably the best defensive center here, defensive big. He can guard your Wembys, he can guard your Giannis's. I think you're going to need him. A lot of people are going to put him on their team. If you don't want to use a Wemby, if you want to use somebody that's different, then yeah, just probably end up using Anthony Davis on the short end, and he's probably gonna be faster than people like Jokic and Embiid and Wemby. So I'll probably say more people are going to use him and going to dominate with him on both sides of the floor because he can score too. He can shoot, he can dunk. So lastly, in the takeover, or I would say in the zone tier list right here, these guys who I think that everybody are more likely are going to be using. We're going to be seeing them all the time. I wouldn't say all the time, but at least majority of the time with most people's lineups, in my opinion. So I have Giannis, and I have him here because I think he's probably the tallest slasher here. It's kind of like how I think about it with Zion. It's just that height and weight, that power, the strength, and knowing that he's going to dunk. It's like who you know is going to stop it. There's not a lot of people that has the height and weight to stop it, or the power to stop him at that height. So I just have him here. I think he's going to dominate. People are going to use him on both sides of the floor. Even on the defensive end, he's going to get blocks. Next up I have is KD, and KD's here. I think he's going to be the best scoring forward here, the best offensive forward here. He can score from anywhere. He can have the mid-range. He has the handles. He has the three-point. I think, of course, everybody is going to use him. I've been hearing a lot from the community, so I just think he's going to dominate and get on fire a lot. Next up I have is LeBron, and LeBron, I think he's the best support player here. he has that aura stat that's going to help him set up other players and set himself up as well. I just think that he don't have to necessarily dominate in this game like everybody else had to dominate to get into the zone. He can just get in the zone by helping. Next up I have is Steph Curry, and if you're looking for like a small lineup, somebody that can handle the rock and shoot threes and can get on fire easily or get in the zone easily, you pick Steph Curry. Of course, everybody gonna use Steph Curry, and they know that he has the aura stat. They know that he can get in the zone quickly, and it's going to be dangerous to stop him from the three-point line. Next that I have is LaMelo Ball, and I have him here. I would say him and Steph Curry is neck and neck because he also has the aura stat, but the difference between him and Steph is that he has the handles and the dimes, so he's going to be he can support other people, but once he break your ankles, he's going to be scoring clips, and once he probably gets into the zone, it's probably more likely you're not going to stop him. He's probably going to be breaking your ankles all the time, in my opinion. So I just say that's why I have him here a second, because a lot of people want to break ankles, a lot of people want to see people fall on the floor and everything, and do the taunts and stuff like that. So, and lastly I have here is Wemby, and the reason why I have him here is because it's Wemby. Like, he's 7'6". Like, if you ever play like the NBA street games, if you ever remember like Takashi and all these other people, like these dudes like 7'7", 8 feet tall, and just they were camping in the paint. I would think it'll be in a similar fashion with him in this game right here. Not to say it's gonna be like NBA Street, but I would think he will probably camp in the paint a little bit more often than a lot of these players. And on top of that, who is going to contest them at the rim? And he can shoot, and he moves. He might be on probably a little on the slower end. They gotta have to probably nerf him somehow. He's probably a little bit slow, but he's probably not slow enough, or he's probably still had the quickness to still catch up to people and still be in the play. But that's it for my tier list. This is my tier list right here. You can leave your comments down and down, and if you feel like, hey, I should have moved somebody up or I should have moved somebody down, just let me know. Hey, just my opinion. You can always put down your tier list. I will have the link in the description. I made it for everybody to use, so you can have your breakdowns, have your tier list, so when the game actually come out, you can actually, make your list to be like, okay, these players are good and these players are bad. Right now I'm about to go ahead and give the list for the community and what their lists have going on. Just a few people in the community that I gotten, and what their top 10 list is. So let me go ahead and get that for you. Alright, y'all, I'm back. Here's the community list that I got right here. I'm about to go ahead and start off with Remy right here. Remy has Wemby first, KD second, and Giannis third. So shout out to him. Kasey, he has Ant Edwards, Cade Cunningham, and Lucca. Shout out to him. That's the broski. Probably leave his channel in the description. But that's his list right here. I have AJ2Fly. This is his list right here. He's one of the founders there. He has LeBron, Harden, and KD. Shout out to him. And this is the rest of his list right there. I got a million right here. This is his list right here. He did add a street legend player here. I did want to shout him out for that. He's a founder over here in the Discord as well. just wanted to show his list. He got Giannis, LaMelo Ball, and he has Steph Curry at the top. So, hey, shout out to him. I got Honcho. Shout out to Broski right there. I'm gonna probably leave his YouTube channel in the description. It's iTzHuncho. Just check him out there. But this is his list right here. He got Victor Wembanyama, LeBron James, and Steph Curry as his top 3, and that's the rest of his list right here. So, shout out to him. I got DTBB. He is also was in the Discord. Please follow the Discord, by the way. That's where I'm getting a lot of this information from. He has Giannis, Zion, and Donovan Mitchell as his top 3, and that's the rest of his list right here. But yeah, please follow the NBA to Run Discord. Probably leave that in the description so y'all can follow. That way y'all can sign up and get all this information. Right here we got Swags. We got Luka, Wemby, and Giannis as his top 3. This is the rest of his list. He's also with the Discord. Shout out to him. We got KnowYourBro. He has his YouTube channel as well. KnowYourBro. I will leave that in the description somewhere. He has Curry, Wemby, and that's his top 3, and that is the rest of his list right here. Looks like it's a pretty solid list to me. Got Talk JJ. He's also a founder up in the Discord. He has Wemby, Curry, and SGA as his top 3. And this is the rest of his list right here. It looks like it's a solid list as well. Shout out to him. Hoping we had seen him in the game on the playtest and everything. I see a lot of y'all in the playtest, hopefully. And here's my my top 10. I have Wemby, LaMelo, Curry. I kind of already explained it why I have that with my tier list, so I just wanted to break that down to y'all and showcase just some of the community's top 10 picks and everything. So I definitely appreciate everybody. I will leave their links to their channel in the description, and I'll catch up with y'all and show y'all the consensus top 10 list. So right here we got the top 10 consensus list right here, and what we have is I have Victor Wembanyama as number 1, just consistent all throughout the levels of all the lists. I have Steph Curry as number 2, got Giannis as number 3, got KD as number 4, got Anthony Edwards as number 5, got Luka Doncic as number 6, got number 7 is Shea, number 8 is LeBron, number 9 is Jason Tatum, and number 10 is Joel Embiid. So out of just the 20 people that I've gathered, including myself right here, we end up getting this top 10 list from the community, from different people from the community. There's probably other lists that people want to make. If you want to make your list and drop it in the next video, please send me a DM on the Discord, or I'll have my social somewhere. That way y'all can see and send me that stuff. That way I can put it for the next video. But yeah, this is the consensus list right here. This is the tier list, and hey, the play test is gonna be coming soon, so make sure y'all sign up. But that's it for me. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I catch y'all in the next video. Peace.